joining us now on the removal of Chief of Defense Staff and other service chiefs. We have Salihu, Dantata, a security expert. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you all.
Good evening. Good evening. First off, did you expect this, reshuffle? Is it a reshuffle? Is it actually a removal? Except, of course, for the Chief of Army Staff, who's now deployed to as Chief of Defense Staff. What do you think, or what factors could have contributed to the service chief's removal? Because we heard from the president in that signed document that this is to further strengthen Nigeria's national security architecture. What's your understanding of this?
Well, in the first place, no one expected it.
Right.
It came as a surprise. Then going beyond that, Mr. President is the president and commander-in-chief. And at any time, he has the constitutional right to relieve whoever he feels, whether service chiefs, Inspector General of Police, Director General DSS, NIA, even extending to heads of paramilitary agencies. And world over, this is the practice. Once you appoint service chiefs, particularly when you are facing insecurity, if you are not getting the reason for why you appointed them, you relieve them and allow other ones to go. Because when you go to chronicle of higher echelons of the armed forces, there are those they call the regular combatant officers. And when you say regular combatant officers, these are people that are enlisted from Tamal 1 to Tamal 5 in the Nigerian Defense Academy. They differs from the short service as well as the direct short service course. So for someone to become a service chief, historically in Nigeria, you have to come from any of the regular combatant courses. And in the NDA there are 3 cadets that trains: Air Force cadet, Naval cadet, and Army cadet. It is when they get to Tamal 4 that the Air Force cadet goes to either Air Training Ground or maybe Air Weapons School Kanji or maybe Tactical Air Command Makodi. Then the Naval cadets goes to One in River State. Then the Army cadet remains in the academy until the presidential peeping and passing out parade. So as it stands, it is a surprise, but President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to tell Nigerians that I'm not only a sit-down look, with due respect to late Bola Ige, because that language and the use of word belongs to him. Right. He's trying to show that come anytime as commander-in-chief, I know my right. Once I appoint you, I did not appoint you to come and just fly routine of cars or sirens or bikers accompanying you. It's for you to know what is happening. If you are Chief of Army Staff, is your GOC in charge of 1 mechanized division doing well? Is your GOC 82 division Enugu doing well? 6th division Port Harcourt doing well? 2nd division in Ibadan doing well? Like the Chief of Defense Staff, he was to the Chief of Army Staff. That was one wonderful thing he did when the Mahmuda terrorists invaded parts of Kwara. What did he do? He left all his schedules to go to Ilorin. After visiting the governor, he now mandated the commanding officer with the use of Army Rapid Response deployed from other units to carry out onslaught against the Mahmuda terrorists in just 1 month. Okay. And it gathered momentum.
All right. Great. And you're right. They serve at the pleasure of the president. He has the power to hire and fire.
Nice.
And historically, since 1999, we've seen different styles by different presidents. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo had the most change of service chiefs. Yes. He must have changed like 3 or 4 times in his 8 years. Yes. And in contrast, we saw late former President Muhammadu Buhari do the least. Yes. Because he kept them for longer.
Absolutely.
But let me ask you, I want to stay with the statement that was released by the president today. When the president says, I'm charging you to enhance professionalism, vigilance, comradeship, what does that suggest to you is going on in the hierarchy of the Nigerian military and the military at large? The tone of that statement.
Don't forget of recent, there was a coup according to allegations.
Attempted coup.
Attempted coup.
Right.
Attempted coup. That was why I put in the word allegation.
Yes.
There were contrary opinions. There and then statement emanated from defense headquarters. That there wasn't any coup. We later got some reports in some tabloids. There's also coup, attempted coup, actually did this and that. Initially, they said led by a brigadier general, later lieutenant colonel, and this and that. I think that particular rumor, whether it is true or not, only God can tell, made the president to say they needed to be vigilant, because no smoke without fire. Today, what most appointed top echelons of security does is trying to impress the commander-in-chief in order to keep the seat while nook and crannies of the country is suffering. If not, why could bandits that are non-state actors, no matter the foreign collaboration and conspiracy, overtake the military intelligence or the entire intelligence of the entire security apparatus? Look at what is happening today, where even bandits will come to towns in some northwestern states. People will be snapping selfies with them, and some military cantonments are close to them there. So that is the aspect issue. And then the aspect of comradeship. Once you are a service chief, don't think because I'm chief of army staff, I'm chief of air staff, naval staff, or chief of defense intelligence, that I have gotten to the peak of my career, that the least private in the army or naval rating or the equivalent in the air force is nobody. There needed to be periodical chief of army staff annual conference that will extend to other ranks. Presently, as it stands, there used to be annual chief of naval staff conference, air staff conference, as well as army staff conference. Who are the ranks of people you find there? From commissioned officers, maybe second lieutenant, lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, to colonel, brigadier general, major generals. Then when it is that of Navy, rear admiral, downward, air vice marshal, downward, not including the NCOs. And when you talk about the execution of the warfare, the field work majorly is done by these neglected other ranks. So I think that is the area Mr. President is talking about, because comradeship gives room to live and let live, not might it right. Because some of what is also affecting the fight against insurgency is this discrimination. The welfare of the commissioned officers can never be compared with those of the other ranks where they live. Go to barracks in Jaji, go to 81 barracks in Kaduna, go to Kalampazi, go to other barracks in Mina, Sobi barracks in Ilori, go to even those of 82 Div, second Div and what have you. You can clearly see the difference between the barrack setting of the officers and the other ranks. We are not saying that they should be equal, but at least let them feel sense of belonging. It was during former...
So that comradeship it seems to be missing, and the president had to underscore that point. But now... well, Nigerians are divided about this, removal of service chiefs. Some are saying there's a need for institutional memory. This group, this set that's just been removed, have been there for like 2 years. Yes. How does this, what are the implications, number one, for the war on terror and insecurity in general? How can the terrorism, war be strengthened with this? This is a new set of, service chiefs. There's going to be a learning process and all of that. And on the other hand, again, Nigerians are saying, how will this impact on national security as a whole with this new set?
You see, they are not aliens.
Right.
These are people that grew from rank to rank. For you to rise up to rank of Major General, you might have spent more than 20-something or 30-something years. Therefore, before they got appointed, they have held command positions. Like the Chief of Army Staff, he was in charge of Operation Zaman Lafiya Dole, Adin Kai, and also of others. So that sensitivity of leading those troops that were also involved in fighting against the Boko Haram and Iswa terrorists in the entire Northeast gives him that edge as well as experience. So also that of Chief of Naval Staff, as well as Chief of Air Staff and Chief of Defense Intelligence, who has been retired. Then the Chief of Defense Staff was Itato, the Chief of Army Staff. So the issues are soldier go, soldier come, barrack remain the same.
Yes.
It has not changed, other command chains. Presently, the GOCs are still there. For the Air Force, the Air Officers Commandings are there. For the Navy, the Flag Officer Commandings officers are there. Then for the CDI, he was there before he was being retained, and host of others. So military is not like political system. Yeah. It is a regimented sector. They are the most disciplined and regimented. And when we say regimentation, they have their rules of engagement and all the command chains are there. So, but beyond that, President should also ask the new service chief to also do internal restructuring.
That's great.
Because there are allegations of godfatherism, there are allegations of non-usage of most competent officers that maybe at a personal parade were the best graduating cadets.
All right, set an agenda for them. We have to go, but I have to ask you this question for clarification, and in 30 seconds if you can. What exactly is the role of the Chief of Defense Staff in Nigeria's security architecture, and how much of real operational control does he wield?
Chief of Defense Staff goes beyond just one part of the military. He presides over the 3 arms of the military. You know, the 3 arms of the military are called Defense Forces, Armed Forces, and the military. Therefore, his purview is to also supervise the entire armed forces. To an extension, his colleagues, the service chiefs. And their roles are enormous. That is why after the Minister of Defense, who is appointed as a civilian, the man that controls an oath brief for the President and Commander-in-Chief among the defense representation is the CDS.
Thank you so much for that clarification. Now, we must also underscore the point that there was no statement of any coup, so we need to correct that. Even the military echelon did say that there was no such thing as a coup, so this has nothing to do with any alleged coup. We have to leave it there. Thank you very much. Of course, Salihu Dantata is a security expert joining us tonight on Newsnight. Thank you for your contribution.